Hello and welcome to Elite Dangerous Beta 3. Yes, it's here, and this is Commander Lucosa, giving you my first impressions. Now, those of you who saw my first impressions of Beta 2, and there were quite a few of you, are no doubt thinking that we are going to have some more of the same, with me absolutely tearing into this and giving it what for being released in a horrendous state. Well, I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you. Beta 3 is actually quite a pleasant surprise, because although it's not perfect, it does have some issues. For the most part, it is pretty bloody good, I have to say. Now, what we'll do, we'll start off with my usual status update, and straight away you can see more information here, as well as the balance. I've lost a hell of a lot of money. Well, I haven't lost it, I just spent it all. I started with just over 16 million, so you know, all the money I had in Beta 2, as well as the ship and all the upgrades and everything else, which got refunded, did get carried over, and it meant that I started with a balance of say just over 16 million. It's now a long way down, because you may have noticed I've already got myself an ASP. It is currently the only ship I have, because of course now in Beta 3 you can own multiple ships, but I'm not really that fussed about owning multiple ships. The only time it will come in useful, well, I'll come to that a bit later. Yeah, the rank is still harmless. I suspect it's still you know, a placing. I don't think it's actually working. Kills is still at 1668, but here on the right hand side there is a general information which gives you your reputation with the various factions within the system that you're docked at. Now, we're docked at Styx, so we have the various factions within Styx, and my reputation with them. So it's neutral at the moment, because this is the first time I've got here. I haven't actually done very much here, but that will no doubt change as we go along. Now, modules, again, I've already set the priorities for them. My power usage is 89% out of 100, which is not bad going, considering I still only have the stock power plant. I did want to change it, but well, something else will come to a bit later. Fire groups I haven't actually done very much, because I've not bought any anything that you know, weapons wise or utility wise, so they're all at their usual thing. Here's another change under cargo. If you're going to be doing mining, you need the refinery. I don't have one fitted, because I'm really not all that interested in mining, so yeah, I left that for a while. My capacity is at 76, which for an ASP is pretty low, but Styx hasn't got any 64 ton cargo racks, so I can't double them, because that's what I'm waiting for. I've got two 32 ton cargo racks, but I want to replace them both with 64, and at the moment I can't, so oh well. And the functions is, you know, well, is the functions. Now, if you go to the Starport services window, you'll see it looks a little bit different. We've got a couple more colours, you know, if you consider that important. But we'll go to the shipyard. That's where things look very different. I really do like the way the shipyard is laid out, and now of course we can see a lot more information here about each of the ships, which I really like. I'm glad that's finally been included, and you can now go through each of the vessels, checking out their stats and seeing if they're any good to you. Now the Eagle here is one ship that I would like to have as my second ship. The reason being that I would like to have this one and keep it at Iranin, and if I keep it there, then whenever I would fancy, you know, going into combat and heading to the distress signal zone, the Eagle is currently much better suited to that than any other ship you can have. So I would go to Iranin, jump into the Eagle and take the Eagle out to combat, and then once I've done, come back to Azaban City, jump into the other ship again, and then piss off in, you know, the bigger, more powerful one. So that's the plan. But of course, if I buy the Eagle here, I've got to take it back to Azaban City, and then I'll have no ship left if I take it, you know, if I leave it there. So I need to either buy the Eagle at Azaban City, and of course they don't have one, or do something else, which I probably will end up doing, which is to take my ASP to Azaban City. They have a Sidewinder for sale there. Buy the Sidewinder as a second ship, come back here, and then buy the Eagle to replace that Sidewinder, and then I can take the Eagle back to Azaban City, leave it there, jump back into the ASP, and away we go. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to be doing that yet because I, well, don't fancy it, to be honest. Sidewinder's here. As you can see, if you look at the cost there, 32,000, and the Eagle 44,800, so there's not much different in the cost between the Eagle and the Sidewinder, but the Eagle is the better ship. Now here we have the Sidewinder, the ASP. The cost, by the way, no longer has the amount for trading value deducted. Because if we click on purchase, I don't think it'll let me actually, because okay, right, there's your options. So buy a new ship, sell your current ship, blah, 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 that will cost, well, I will get back 5,471,060 if I did that. Or you could just buy the new ship and, you know, use that while your current ship gets put into storage, and that will obviously cost you the full whack, 6,661,153, which I'm not going to do. Now carry on going. Here we have one of the new ships, the Federal dropship. The other new ship is an Imperial Clipper. Now, being an Imperial ship, I will definitely want that. This, being a Federal ship, it can basically go fuck itself. I couldn't give a monkey's toss about this thing. So, 37.8 million, yeah, definitely not interested in that. The Type 6, this is probably the ship that, or the first ship anyway, that you would want to have if you're going to go mining. With this one, there's two small hard points, so you basically stick a couple of mining lasers on that, and then, you know, fill the compartments with as many cargo holds and refineries as you can, and bosh, away you go. So this actually makes the Type 6 quite handy as an all-out mining ship. I think anything smaller would be a bit of a waste. So then we have the Cobra. Still a fine ship, but I could afford the ASP, so I bought that instead. The Viper, which I can only assume is better in Beta 3 than it supposedly was in Beta 2. A lot of people were saying how awful it was in Beta 2. I never actually flew it in Beta 2, so I can't say from personal experience, and I'm really not that fussed about getting one now, so we'll leave that. And then we're back to the hauler again. One thing I have seen, I thought I could show you it here, but clearly not, they must be out of stock, is I've seen the Anaconda. That is now 146 million just to buy the ship itself, never mind the upgrades. It doesn't bear thinking about with the upgrades. Right, now if we go to the outfitting, here we come across our first issue. If we go to buy and equip on the lasers, now okay, burst laser focused, here it's actually telling us something about it, which is nice, because if you look here, burst laser 4400, here burst laser 8600, but it doesn't say what the difference is, because it's no longer telling us if they're gimbaled, overcharged, turret, you know, or nothing. Now here it says multi-pulse laser weapon on gimbal mount with signature tracking assist. So okay, we know it's gimbal because of the description, but it would be nice to actually see it here in the title as well. You know, it would be rather handy. So yeah, they need to sort that out, I think, because at the moment it's a bit ridiculous. Here we have the torpedo pylon. This is one of new weapons, much more powerful than missiles as your missile, but you can't store anywhere near as many weapons on it. Ammo clip size is 1, so it'll do a hell of a lot of damage, I'm sure. It'll also send your heat signature skyrocketing, but yeah, that's about all that we know so far, all I know. I forgot to mention it earlier, here is the mining laser, so it comes under weapons, but yeah, I don't think you're going to actually do much damage to a ship if you're going to attack it with mining lasers, so yeah, I wouldn't use it for that. The fragment cannon has had its rating dropped quite a bit to D, and in fact I never saw a Class 1 before. The only time I'd seen a fragment cannon before was Class 2, back when I had it on my Cobra alongside a plasma accelerator. So as you can see, it still does a hell of a lot of damage though, so I have no doubt that it's a decent weapon. But yeah, again, so you've got a beam laser here that's 500,000. Why, when you've got a beam laser here that's 37,000? What, yeah, get that sorted out. Now upgrades for your ship parts, it's changed a little bit insofar as previously the worst parts you could get were rated at H. The ratings have now just been altered slightly, and now the worst you can get is E. So anything that's like rated A, B or C, they're not better than, you know, the best parts you could get in Beta 2, which was D rated. They've just been renamed it. So these thrusters I've got here, A5, in Beta 2 they would have been D5. I hope these things were worth it, because these things cost me 5.7 million. It was a bit of a wrench having to spend that much on those. Frameshift drive has become a priority, but see, D5. Now normally in Beta 2, if you saw a D5, that was the best you could get, and if you could see, if you found D5's 189,000, you would not have given it, you know, a half a microsecond's thought. You would have bought it straight away. But of course now D's are only one up from the bottom. These are, or what were, rated G in Beta 2, so suddenly they're not so great. And whilst I do want upgrades to my frameshift drive, I want something better than D5s. The good news is that they finally fixed the issue where if you buy an upgrade part, you do get the price off for the you know, old part you're exchanging. So I guess I could get this, knowing that, you know, I will get the money back when I upgrade it further. But yeah, I better not say that too much because I'm going to end up talking myself into doing it. Power plants, I certainly need a power plant upgrade because I'm close to using my full whack. I mean, I'm at 12.22 out of 13.6, so it sounds like I'm not that, you know, close to my limit, but some of these other upgrades do use a hell of a lot of power, so yeah, it would be nice. I mean, this only gives me another, what is that, 1.7 megawatts. The mass though goes down a hell of a lot. It's a 12 ton mass, so that will be very handy given the problems I've had in the past with my ASP's total mass going over what the shields can protect. Again, I'm almost talking myself into getting it now. Right, frame shift drive they don't. Oh yeah, they do have. Yeah, I've already talked about it, haven't I? Life support, they have that as well. Life support is never really a priority. Now again, it's saves me mass, but 28,000, I mean, okay, I've got 2.7 million, but I haven't really made much money in this beta yet, so, you know. Power distributor, I kept thinking I had upgraded it, but I upgraded it on my Sidewinder, which I then sold for this, so they don't have any class 4s here. So that is no good. Sensors they have fixed. Now you have to get sensors of the class that your ship uses. So yeah, there's no getting away from that now. So see, again, I could save mass and an awful lot of it, and well, my range would still be 5 km. See, all these upgrades I'm finding, they do more to save mass than anything else. And, you know, now the fuel tank, see, now I'm not so keen on the idea of getting a smaller fuel tank, despite the mass savings again. The reason for it is because no one seems to know for sure, but there is the opinion that there is a bug, because ships now go through fuel like a down and out drunkard goes through special brew. Well, yeah, to put it into context, the first trip I made in Beta 3, I took my Sidewinder from Azerbaijan Orbital in Iran, and I went to Beagle 2 landing in Acellus Primus. In order to do that journey, my ship had to refill the reservoir from the main fuel tank. Just to do that, I let that sink in for a moment, and that was not good. So yes, I wasn't too thrilled with that. Now I think I read somewhere that it currently only affects Sidewinders, so let's hope that is the case. Now here, if we have a look through to try and get my better, yeah, they don't have the higher capacity cargo racks for me, but they do have some new bits in here. There's the refinery. There are all different ratings and classes of refinery. Basically, I would imagine get the biggest and best you can afford. You know, it's as simple as that. And once you've got that and your mining lasers, then bosh, away you go. You can start mining. Then there is your fuel scoop. So if you get close to the sun, you can use that, and you know, you can actually start collecting fuel. So that, I would imagine, will come in very useful. And then there is the part that so many people were waiting for, the frameshift drive interdictor. So now with that fitted, you can interdict other ships, and if you're playing multiplayer, it includes other players. So there you go, that's everyone happy. I don't really give a shit, because I don't plan on ever using it. Well, actually, yeah, I probably will use it eventually, but I don't plan on playing multiplayer very often, and I certainly won't be using it to, you know, go after other players. I believe that is all the new parts. So they've even got an advanced discovery scanner here. I can afford it, but this early on, it is far from a essential one. Now here is the most powerful shield generator I could fit to my ship, a class 6, which would mean a maximum hull mass of 900 tons, so regardless of what upgrades I fit to my ship, it will still work, and being A rated means it will do a good job of protecting my ship. But at 16.179 million, it better bloody do a good job of it. Yeah, I'm not going to be getting one of those anytime soon. But I have already upgraded my shield generator. I didn't get an A5, I got a B5. That cost me a fair old whack as well. I can't remember how much I paid for it. There we go, 1.7 million. So 1.7 million for that, and then the A6, which is the best one I could fit on this ship, nigh on 17 million. So yeah, that's a hell of a difference. Almost, well, 10 times as much pretty much. This cargo rack I did manage to double to 8. Same with this one, I managed to double to 4, which is a good job, because it looks like at the moment they don't have any cargo racks of any kind. So what I'm going to do is where's it gone? Oh fuck. Don't tell me that the fuel scoops have to be fitted into higher. Yeah, I can't fit them in a number 3 slot. Fuel scoop H4. Does that mean that 4 is the lowest? There's an H5. So 4 or 5. Unless there are lower ones, but of course this place is done out of epoxy things. I was about to get one. Well, best laid plans and all that guff. Right, I'm not going to get a fuel scoop. What else do they have? Am I going to get anything? I could get the frameshift drive interdictor, but no, I don't want to be messing around with that. Okay, well, that rather spoiled things. Right, so that's the look at the new service station. Let's take a look at the new galaxy map. Now at first it doesn't look all that different, but now it has a better journey planner. So if we click on this system here, it's telling me already that because I can't go directly to it, I have to go to Ibutis and Iranin, and then on to Acellus Primus itself. Likewise Dahan, if I wanted to go there, 1, 2, 3, it would be the 4th stop. So it's basically telling me it's not a really good idea. Now if I had a better frameshift drive, I would be able to make jumps to somewhere like, you know, Chi Hercules in one go. So eventually I will be heading out that way because I want to see about getting to 14 Hercules so that I can then maybe get some high-end parts there, because it's a high-tech system. As it is, my intention is to go to a run-in and do the usual basic medicines run. But I think my ship at the moment can't go to Iran. Yes, it can. 7.47. Let's see if you can still go there with a full cargo hold. Now, commodities board hasn't changed any, but you know, you won't notice it here. But places like Iran seem to be recovering a bit from the effects of the war. They do now have a fair bit of stuff in them. So, right, cargo hold is full there. Yeah, we didn't get the spoken warning then about cargo bay maximum capacity, but there are a lot of new spoken warnings during the game, so we'll see if we can hear any more of those whilst playing. So we have our 76 tons of basic medicines. Let's return to the surface. We have a run-in set as our destination. This will be the first time I've taken the ASP out in Beta 3. Prior to this video, I'd only done about
ship released, engines engaged, gearing retracted.
4 runs in a Sidewinder. You
Charge detected.
heard 2 new audio warnings there. Now, you also saw briefly one other issue with Beta 3. The stuttering is back. I mean, it's not as bad as it was in Beta 2 most of the time, but if you go to some areas, particularly if you go to gas giants with ring systems, it's far, far worse than it ever was in Beta 2, and that I thought was going to take some doing, but yeah, they've done it. So the stuttering issue is back with a vengeance, and it is terrible. It really, really does need to be fixed. Right, here we go. Stuttering is also pretty bad when the hyperspace starts. You'll notice the new look effect there. It looks even more like a Doctor Who intro than ever. I had these sounds so loud. Right. Azerbaijan City. There you are. But one thing that is fixed from Beta 2 is that the area is now nice and dark. It's had the lighting effects and shadows sorted out. It's no longer grey and flat. Took their sweet time fixing it, but it has finally been done. You can also see that the other ships around here look different. I think they look much better. The music has been changed slightly. I mean, the actual pieces are still the same, but they now just sound slightly different. I wouldn't say better, but they do sound different. slow down here. So maybe they've changed the flight model a bit. Unless I was affected by the gravitational effect of the planet. And there we go.
Request granted.
I'm only going to do this one trip here just so you got an idea, because tomorrow is Thursday and that's when my next Twitch broadcast is. Tomorrow starting at 7:30 PM, so be sure you're
Landing gear not deployed. Landing gear deployed.
You're here for that, and you'll get to see much more of Beta 3 in action. Especially as that was the first journey I've made where I didn't have an interdiction, and the new interdiction effects look fantastic. Holy shit! Refueling 911 credits just for that short journey. Yeah, I definitely need to sort out the frameshift drive of this ship. Commodities market. Please pay. Oh shit. Well, I am making a profit still, but it's nothing like the fortune that I was making before. Oh dear. Looks like I'll need to find a new route and fast. And you can see here that things are recovering in terms of the economy, because they now have plenty in the way of foods that they are exporting. So yeah, they're not doing too badly there. So now if we go to shipyard, yeah, they only have the one ship and it is the Sidewinder. So this would be where I would buy the Sidewinder, keep it alongside my Asp, take this ship back to Styx, buy the Eagle, replacing this ship with the Eagle, and bring that Eagle back here and keep it here for combat duties. So that's my plan. I say I'll do that when I have more cash. 2.7 million. Well, okay, 2.7 million is a decent amount. It's just that I started with 16 million, so I want to get some more credits in before I do anything else. So there you are, that's my first impressions of Beta 3, and for the most part they are all positive. But there is one big negative that I have not yet mentioned, and that is the availability of ship upgrades. They've left that fucking unbearable random placing in. I was certainly not the only person who complained about it. There were huge numbers of people who were complaining about it in the forums, and despite that it's still there, even though it is very clear that the overwhelming majority hate it. So in that regard, FD have, well, not even bothered to listen to what the testers have had to say. There's some pretty good effects on the shadows there. That certainly shows that the shadows and lighting effects are working. So that's my first impressions. Generally good, which comes as a pleasant surprise to me, and I dare say quite a few of you. So yes, don't forget tomorrow will be the next Twitch broadcast starting at 7:30 PM UK time. You'll get to see a hell of a lot more of Beta 3 in action. In the meantime, this is Commander Lucosa in the Beta 3 ASP, signing off.